On Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. A high-speed chase throughout Victoria last night led to an arrest. The details just ahead. And the second day of Victoria ISD superintendent search took place on Thursday. We'll tell you when a new superintendent is expected to be announced. Plus, cleanup efforts and rescue efforts continue in the southeast following Hurricane Helene.
And here in the Crossroads, we're going to continue down the path of the above average heat all the way until next week. We get our cold front. We're still expecting that, and we'll continue watching for maybe some showers today. All that in the weather coming up.
Who will be our athlete of the week? I'll tell you who that is coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Friday. Hope y'all are having a great start to your upcoming weekend.
Yeah, start of the weekend, Carolina. It is Friday. I hope y'all are ready for that weekend.
It is Friday, and it's also the start of a new tradition here in Victoria.
Oh,
well, years ago, before you moved here, Parker, we had Boot Fest, which was a country music festival.
I'm already intrigued.
But now, this year, since we're celebrating 200 years of Victoria County, the city is introducing Tejas Fest, which is taking the main stage this weekend. It starts today.
It's this weekend?
And it continues tomorrow.
Wow. Well, if you're going to be going to Tejas Fest this weekend, it's actually not looking too bad of a weekend in terms of the weather. Actually, we have maybe a few tropical spotty showers out there as we go into tomorrow, maybe even some today. We're going to look at that future radar coming up later on Sunrise, and we're also still expecting a front next week, but before the front arrives, we're going to be just a tad hot this weekend. We're going to look at all that here in just a second, because right now, before that front arrives and the rain arrives, you're looking live here in Victoria. We're still very nice out there, sitting at about 74 degrees, and a dew point right now about 6 degrees off from temperature at 68, bringing humidity to 82%, so plenty humid out there. Not really expecting any fog out there with that level of humidity, but we are looking at your radar this morning, and we are still expecting some rain out there. No rain out there yet, but as we go into later this afternoon, we're continuing to watch the first tropical wave that we've been talking about for 2 weeks now. That's right off the eastern coast of Corpus Christi. You can kind of see a little bit spinning right there. That's going to bring some partly cloudy skies today and some tropical showers over the next 48 hours. Looking at weather headlines here, just that. But as we go into next week, we're still expecting that cold front. That's going to drop about half of us into the upper 80s and the other half in the low 90s, but it will still be a tad hot before that front arrives. So if you're seeing your kiddos out the door this morning, pack them for another hot day today in the mid 90s with maybe some spotty showers. I'm going to look at the timing of the showers maybe, and also the heat coming up next. Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. A blue alert has been issued for a man who allegedly injured a Texas police officer. The alert was issued for Seth Altman, 33, of Memphis, for the killing or serious injury of an officer in Hall County, which sits in the Panhandle just southeast of Amarillo. The alert says Altman stands 6'2" and weighs about 220 pounds. He was last seen in the 200 block of South 4th Street in Memphis wearing a blue t-shirt and jeans. He's considered to be armed and dangerous. If you see him, do not approach and call 911. The extent of the officer's injuries are unknown at this time. One man is in custody following a high-speed chase led by Victoria Police. Around 11 p.m. last night in Victoria, the police attempted to make a felony narcotic stop of a lifted white F-150 truck. The truck, however, did not stop and led police on a high-speed chase throughout the city. The chase came to an end in the northbound lane on Highway 59's frontage road past Hanselman Road. Police arrested a Hispanic man who was the sole person in the vehicle. They found a felony amount of narcotics within the man's vehicle. He was taken to and remains in the Victoria County Jail.
The Victoria Police Department narcotics team was doing a narcotics investigation when the vehicle was pulled over, which is that white 2019 Ford F-150. He was identified, and then he decided to flee the scene. Pursuit ensued. He was taken here, right here at on US 59, and he was taken into custody. Good, felony amount of narcotics was found in the vehicle.
The truck reached speeds up to 105 miles per hour during the chase. We hope to provide you with more details as they become available. A 12-year-old Victoria student is in the juvenile detention center this morning after he made a threat at school. The student at STEM Middle School was arrested around 1 Thursday afternoon for a false report with the intent to induce an emergency response. Another student reported to an assistant principal that the arrested student had made a threat to cause harm to the school. 2 other students also heard the threat. The student will remain in custody until further proceedings by the court and juvenile probation are scheduled. The Victoria ISD Board of Trustees completed their second day of interviews for the district's new leader. The interviews started Wednesday. The board will interview 8 candidates who were selected from a pool of more than 50 applicants. The search comes after former Superintendent Quentin Shepard accepted a role at Pflugerville ISD. The board used feedback from a survey to collect responses from people in the community to see what they want in the next superintendent and to help pick the candidates. A lone finalist is expected to be named on October 17th. The election is getting closer and political signs are going up around the area. Victoria Republican Party Chairman Bill Posey is helping put up signs around the area. He says plenty of time and effort and money goes into the political signs. Regardless of your political stance, damaging or stealing signs is disrespectful and against the law. Posey says everyone needs to respect others' property and beliefs. Stealing or vandalizing a political campaign sign is a Class C misdemeanor.
Would never allow any of my people to do that if I knew it, right? And I would hope, I've never had a problem with the opposition doing the same thing. I would never touch anybody's sign from the Democratic Party. No, it's counterproductive. Let people have a say.
If you see a political sign damaged or taken down, you can report it to local law enforcement. By the way, the last day to register to vote is Monday, October 7th. Election day is Tuesday, November 5th. Thousands of dock workers are now back on the job after striking union members reached a tentative deal. The strike threatened to cost the U.S. economy $4 billion a day and cause major supply chain issues. Both sides have agreed to suspend the strike.
This morning, the dock workers' strike suspended. Work resuming immediately after an uncertain 3 days that saw ports from Maine to Texas shut down. The disruption could have potentially crippled the U.S. economy, leading to supply shortages and higher retail prices ahead of the holiday shopping season.
The dock workers are going back to work, and the next 90 days we're going to settle everything.
The International Longshoremen's Association, representing 45,000 workers at East and Gulf Coast ports, reaching a deal Thursday to suspend the work stoppage. The tentative agreement with the U.S. Maritime Alliance, which represents the ports and shipping companies, will pause the strike until January 15th. Dock workers are demanding a 77% pay raise over the next 6 years and a total ban on certain forms of automation. The Maritime Alliance has offered a 62% raise, tripled contributions to benefits, and pledged to limit automation. ILA members' current base salary is $81,000 annually, but some can earn $200,000 with overtime. This raise will increase top dock workers' hourly pay from $39 to $63. The CEO of the National Retail Federation celebrating the suspension, writing, "The sooner they reach a deal, the better for all American families." Consumers were already on edge after the strike was announced.
I came in at 9:30. I was waiting online because I know people panic every time they hear something.
Panic buying, clearing toilet paper from shelves at big box stores, despite the fact that the disruption would not have affected domestically produced tissue paper. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Cleanup efforts from damage brought by Hurricane Helene are ongoing in the flood-ravaged North Carolina mountain town of Swannona on Thursday. Construction crews appeared in various parts of the town to repair impassable roads and remove debris, while repair crews worked to restore electricity and town services. The storm killed at least 202 people in the southeast, and search efforts remain ongoing. Thousands in North Carolina remain without running water and power. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:39 on our Friday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. Several campuses in Victoria received thousands of dollars in transformative grants.
I'm ABC's Perry Russom in Washington. Vice President Kamala Harris picks up another endorsement from a Republican. as former President Trump prepares to head back to Butler, Pennsylvania. That story coming up.
And also coming up next after the break in the full forecast, I did say we have a chance for rain today. We'll take a look at the timing for any of that possible rain today. And coming up later on Sunrise, we're going to continue looking at what's trying to form out there in the tropics.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from On-Ramp Coastal Bend. We learn about the pumpkin patch. We hear from candidate Stephanie Basham, and we learn about what the food bank of the Golden Crescent has going on.
It'll be the 3rd annual charity basketball game, and it's the postal workers against the first responders, so the Victoria Fire Department and Police Department.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. You're looking live in Cuero this morning. Still very nice out there, and as that sun's starting to come up, you got a little bit of purple and navy kind of exposed in the skies right now. But if you're going to go see that sunrise coming up over the next about half hour or so, it's real nice out there. 66 degrees, like I said. Dew point, though, 6 degrees off at 60, bringing humidity to 81%, so that's pretty lovely. And like I said, go out there and enjoy that before we heat up today. And that dew point will actually be dropping, so that will be nice. Actually, no. I actually want to change my mind there. It's actually going to stay about the same because we're going to get lots of moisture coming in from this first tropical wave that is right off the eastern coast of Corpus Christi. But look at your future clouds and radar for today. I'm going to show you just that. Rain chances today are at 20%, so there might be a few spotty showers out there, and actually most of the rain activity, if not all, will be concentrated along the immediate coast. But there might be, like I said, 1, 2 or 3 spotty showers that try to make its way inland as we go into the mid to late afternoon time today. I'm not really thinking it's going to be this widespread, but sometime after 3 or 4, we might see maybe a couple of showers in the inland counties today. So keep your fingers crossed for rain. Chances actually going to bump up tomorrow to 40%. So don't let your hope down just yet. But in the background, partly cloudy skies with that beaming sun is going to bring us another hot day, kind of hot. I'm thinking 94 here in Victoria. Everybody else is about the same at 94, unless you're along the coast. You're going to see low 90s and maybe even upper 80s today. All that making a great day today for Football Friday. The game of the week is going to be Tidehaven versus Industrial, and it's going to be at Industrial and Vanderbilt. Partly cloudy skies at kickoff time and 86 degrees out there. Pretty nice. But in the background, if you're going to go out there to that football game, I would recommend taking an allergy pill today. We got a little bit of pollen to be dealing with for today, but we got a little bit more heat to also deal with going into this weekend and tropical showers, and we're going to look at the tropics coming up next.
So your athlete of the week is one that's responsible for leading his school to their first district win in years. And we talked about him yesterday. Who will it be? It will be Aiden Gardner, running back for Bloomington. And for Bloomington, they had an impressive Week 5 victory against the Danbury Panthers. And he was the only freshman, Gardner. He had 2 touchdowns, led his team in rushing yards with 169 and just 14 carries. His performance was beyond good enough for them to beat the Panthers. Final score is 28-0. And for Gardner, he credits his team excited what's coming later down the line in his high school football career.
You know, I'm just helping my team out, but it was really because of our blockers. My favorite part is about that we still got a whole bunch of years left. We're very young. I'm excited for the rest of my years and season because, you know, we got a great team here, and some of us still have 3 years, 2 years.
Make sure to check out Aiden and the Bobcats tomorrow night at Flatonia. Kickoff will be at 7:30 p.m. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Thank you, Max. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. Nearly 1 month to go until Election Day. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump are headed to battleground states today. Trump in North Carolina and Georgia. Harris is headed to Michigan after picking up an endorsement from another Republican.
Vice President Kamala Harris in Wisconsin standing side by side with former Wyoming Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney.
I tell you, I have never voted for a Democrat, but this year I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Cheney was a member of the January 6th committee and is the daughter of former conservative Vice President Dick Cheney, who also endorsed Harris.
As you said, we may not see eye to eye on every issue, and we are going to get back to a healthy two-party system. I am sure of that, where we will have vigorous debates.
Trump responding to the Liz Cheney endorsement on Fox News.
Well, Liz Cheney lost for Congress. She was terrible. Liz Cheney is a stupid war hawk.
Trump at a rally in Michigan promising to add manufacturing jobs by increasing U.S. production. Trump speaking a day after federal prosecutors unveiled new evidence against him in the case where he's accused of plotting to overturn the 2020 election. Trump denies all wrongdoing. Trump once again yesterday repeating the false claim that he won in 2020.
We did great in 2016. A lot of people don't know we did much better in 2020. We won. We won. We did win. It was a rigged election. It was a rigged election.
Trump heads back to Butler, Pennsylvania tomorrow, the site of the first assassination attempt. The Secret Service is making changes to his protection. It includes large white tents where Trump is set to speak. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
The Victoria ISD Education Foundation Grant Patrol surprised 4 teachers yesterday with financial gifts to improve learning and engagement on campus. Those teachers some of those teachers were at the VISD Success Academy, Torres Elementary, and STEM Middle School. And they actually surprised 4 campuses yesterday morning, a bit more teachers than just 4. And these teachers that they presented the award to were at the VISD Success Academy. They plan to use their $10,000 award on a school store where students can learn how to make t-shirts and sell them in exchange for campus currency.
Our students weren't successful in the traditional school environment, so they don't have all the things that you would have at East and West, and we wanted to give them a little bit more inspiration in coming to school and finishing their degree.
But with this grant money, it's going to take the abilities that we're able to do with these kids at a much higher level than we ever could have hoped for.
Teachers at Schulemer Elementary School, Victoria East High School, and Cade Middle School each received a $500 award despite not being chosen as finalists. You can learn more about these grants on our website, crossroadstoday.com. The time is now 6:48 on our Friday morning. Still to come, a sweeping Biden administration student debt forgiveness plan will move forward. We have the details.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of you are still wondering what's going on out there in the tropics. We have a little bit of activity. We have just a little bit of activity literally just off of our doorstep here. And what we're talking about is this little orange shaded area for possible tropical development issued there by the National Hurricane Center. And the good news is I have more good news, kind of just like yesterday's good news, actually. The good news is that if anything does try and form at this with chances at 40% suggested by the National Hurricane Center, if anything does form in that, it's actually going to head east or northeastward towards Florida, maybe even just south of Florida if they get lucky, because they just had Helene. So we definitely don't want anything to form out there in the Gulf to head, and really anywhere in the Gulf, because that would be a nightmare situation, especially after Helene. But I'm going to turn everything off so you can see what we're looking at right now. We're actually looking at the first tropical wave, which is right now off the eastern coast of Corpus. It's right about here. You can see a little bit of convection right there. That's going to bring us to partly cloudy skies and tropical showers today. That was the first wave we've been talking about for 2 weeks now. But here's the second wave. The second wave is actually right over the Yucatan. You can see a little bit of a dull area where there's no rain, but you can see a little bit spinning right here and also right here as well. And that's where, if anything does form, it'll form right about there. But looking at the rest of the tropics, we do have 2 more active systems out there. We got Leslie and Kirk. Leslie, tropical storm. Kirk is a hurricane, actually a Category 4 hurricane, and it's going to continue as a strong Category 4 hurricane with winds right now at 145, 10 miles an hour away from Category 5 strength. But look at that big old storm all the way out there in the central Atlantic, not making landfall anywhere. But other good news is that the Climate Prediction Center just released their outlook, and they also have a nice lull in tropical activity over the coming weeks. We're going to look at that more coming up later on Sunrise. Carolina.
A sweeping Biden administration student debt forgiveness plan will move forward, potentially offering relief to as many as 3 in every 4 federal student loan holders. The student loan forgiveness plan could deliver relief to tens of millions of Americans, canceling up to $20,000 in debt per borrower. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We want to know, have you or anyone you know received any student debt relief? Okay, let's take a look. 18% of you say yes, and 82% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. Caitlin Clark is the 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year. The 22-year-old point guard received the title after an outstanding season with the Indiana Fever. Clark became the league's single-season assist record holder. She's also the first rookie to record a triple-double and holds the record for the most three-pointers made by a rookie in the WNBA's history. According to the league, Clark received all but one of 67 votes from a national panel. The other vote went to Chicago Sky's rookie, Angel Reese. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. 2 teens led Victoria police through a chase through Riverside Park. Two teens led Victoria police on a chase through Riverside Park. At around 2:35 Thursday morning, an officer tried to stop a driver on West Red River Street, but the driver did not stop. After a short chase into Riverside Park, police say the driver stopped, then the driver and passengers tried to run. Officers were able to detain 2 teens. A fence at Low Field in the park was damaged by the driver during the chase. The city of Victoria does have a curfew for minors. Anyone under the age of 17 is breaking the law if they're in a public place or commercial establishment between midnight and 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, or between 1 a.m. or between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. on weekends. Riverside Park is also closed daily from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. The November general election is right around the corner. The last day to register to vote, if you haven't already, to be eligible to vote in November is October 7th. That's on Monday. To register to vote in Victoria County, you can visit the voter register office at 2805 North Navarro Street, Suite 500. Animal welfare advocates will plead with Texas lawmakers to help cities control the stray pet population. You can read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through your Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And we have plenty of time for a look at our forecast and a beautiful sunrise with Parker.
That's right, Carolina. Look at this pretty sunrise. It's like every morning we got a beautiful sunrise off of our coast. All kinds of colors this time. Look at that. I can see some blue. I can actually even see some green in there, some yellow, red, pink, orange. We've got pretty much the whole rainbow spectrum out there this morning. If you're going to go see that sunrise, it's a great time to do that. Very nice out there before that heat starts to ramp up again today. Right now, 79 degrees along the coast in Port Lavaca, 2.6 degrees off, bringing humidity to 81%. So still plenty humid out there, but we're not really expecting any fog with that level of humidity. But looking at the temperatures across the board in the Crossroads, we've got lots of mid 70s. Nice, very nice out there. Low 70s and even upper 60s as well. Very nice out there. But look at your satellite with that sunny skies coming out today, and actually some partly cloudy skies, courteous of the tropical wave, which is right off the eastern coast of Corpus Christi. You can actually kind of see it right here spinning just a little bit. You can actually see a little bit better on this map, the winds map right now. You can see it right there, just off the eastern coast of Corpus Christi. Like I said, Corpus is right there, but actually not the Corpus is right over here. But they're coming our way as we go into this afternoon. That tropical wave right there is going to bring us some spotty showers, especially for those along the coast, and some partly cloudy skies. Getting up to 91 today in Port Lavaca, a little bit warmer in Victoria today. I'm thinking 94 today, maybe some spotty showers in the afternoon time, and about the same timing for the rain in Cuero, but getting up about 95 for today. But we've got a little bit more heat to come our way and some tropical showers coming our way tomorrow before the front arrives next week, and about half of us are going to be in the upper 80s.
Well, it looks like we'll have to take our chances with Tejas Fest this weekend, with those spotty showers and isolated T-storms.
Yeah, just a couple out there, but I think it's going to be a great weekend to do the Tejas Fest.
Well, there's Tejas Fest, there's the fall festivals going on. I know that Nazareth Academy is going to have Thanksgiving plates for sale on Sunday, so be sure to watch out for that at the Community Center.
That's cool.
So we'll see you next week and tonight.